What is up, guys? I hope you're all having a fantastic day out there. You're very welcome to another video here on Degenerate Watch. Thank you very much for joining me. In this video we have yet another Florida man to take a look at. It seems like there isn't a day that goes by that there's not a new Florida man headline. We recently featured another Florida man who drove off from police in the middle of a traffic stop, and if you haven't checked out that video, I'm going to leave a link to that down below in the description. So now let's take a look at what this Florida man got up to. We're headed off to Flagler County in Florida for this one, and more specifically North Ocean Shore Boulevard in Beverly Beach. At around 8 AM on Saturday the 6th of August 2022, deputies responded to the report of a subject operating a large piece of construction equipment and driving it on the sidewalk in Beverly Beach. When deputies arrived, they stopped a transient male, Randy Lee Wheeland, operating a JLG Lull alongside State Road A1A. The investigation subsequently found that Wheeland entered a construction site and stole the $60,000 Lull and took it on a 2.5 mile trip south along State Road A1A to Beverly Beach. So now we'll take a look at the body cam footage from the time when the officer initiated the stop.
What are we doing? Step down for me. Do you have any ID on you? Whose is this? Yours? Where'd you get it from? I'm sorry? Rental shop? Where do you live? Where? Can you turn that thing off for me so I can hear you? Appreciate it.
How you doing there?
I'm sorry?
How you doing there?
I'm good, yeah. Where do you live?
Volusia County.
Volusia County? What are you doing up here?
I'm just working up here.
You're working up here?
Yeah,
You realize you were hitting some things back there?
I know.
Why are we driving this thing down the sidewalk?
I can take it down the road, it'd be a lot quicker.
Your man's so laid back about the whole situation, not only for the fact that he's driving that thing down the pavement, but also that he's been hitting stuff with it. And when questioned about why he was driving it on the sidewalk, he said that he could take it down the road, it'd probably be a lot quicker. Did I hear that right? What kind of logic is that? Well, he did say he was working, so maybe he wants to take his time getting back to the job. He'll probably just tell the boss he got held up down at the rental place. He's probably a hard-working, upstanding citizen, and this is probably all just a big misunderstanding. Am I right?
No, not this time.
Well, hold on. Where'd you get this equipment from?
The rental place?
The rental place?
Yes, sir.
Where there's no rental place around here, so...
It's down the other place, we brought it out in the tractor trailer.
Okay, where's the tractor trailer that this came off of?
It's in the back of the place back
Do you work over there?
here. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you rented this or your boss rented this?
Actually, my boss did.
Your boss did?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This bike.
Huh? Whose bike and stuff is this?
That's my bike.
Your bike? Okay.
Doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to work out what's been going on here. I'm not really buying that story that he's feeding the officer.
It looks like it's broken.
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
It is.
How'd you get up here?
Huh?
How'd you get up here?
This bike.
This bike. Where were you taking this?
Down here, the other construction site.
Okay. You got a phone on you?
Yeah.
All right. Can you call your boss and have him come up here?
It's not active.
Okay.
He's loading the bicycle back up there as if he's going to be waved on his way and let go on. Probably thinking, oh yeah, the officers bought this story, I'm home free. You are.
Alright. Hold on a second. Do me a favor. Well, I got you. Put your hands behind your back for me. You're not under arrest. You're just being detained at this time, okay? Because so I can conduct my investigation and we can figure out what's going on here, okay? Sorry, I don't want to get caught on your watch. We'll talk in 1 second, okay? Because I'm going to read you some.
It turns out that our man Randy here did quite a bit of damage on his little trip. He drove over 2 fire hydrants, a charter communications fibre node, residents' mailboxes and broke several sections of public sidewalk. The city estimated the damage that he caused at more than $10,000. Commenting on the incident, the Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said this career criminal decided to go on a joyride with a large piece of construction equipment, and Whelan would have caused more damage if he was not stopped and apprehended by deputies. Another win for See Something, Say Something. So a special thank you to the citizens who called us and helped prevent this dirtbag from continuing his dangerous path of destruction. I thought it was hilarious the fact that the sheriff called him a dirtbag. Now you may tend to agree with the sheriff when you hear about this guy's extensive criminal history. Out of the state of Pennsylvania, he has convictions for criminal mischief, trespassing, DUI, theft, burglary, receiving stolen property, driving with licence suspended, unsworn falsification to authority, harassment, public drunkenness, loitering and prowling. And 3 of those are felony convictions. In Florida, he has convictions for grand theft auto, burglary, petty theft, DUI, boarding under the influence, trespassing, battery on a law enforcement officer, criminal mischief, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, battery on a person over 65, exploitation of elderly less than $20,000, aggressive solicitation, disorderly intoxication, impersonating a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer without violence, breach of the peace, disorderly conduct, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, grand theft, improper exhibition of dangerous weapon, simple assault, fraud, and possession of a controlled substance without prescription. And he's going to have a few more to add to his rap sheet after this little outing. On this occasion, he was arrested for grand theft, theft from a construction site, felony criminal mischief, and trespass on a construction site. He was transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall detention facility where he's been held on a $12,500 bond. And believe it or not, this is only his first arrest here in Flagler County. So this guy is definitely not a wholesome character to have wandering around the streets. And it seems that he's been convicted so many times, he's just never going to learn. Luckily on this occasion he was apprehended before he went on to do even more damage or possibly hurt somebody. So kudos to whoever that was that rang him in. Unfortunately, the city is going to have a $10,000 plus price tag to pick up for this guy's damage. On a positive note, at least that construction company will get their piece of equipment back. And to be honest, it did look quite new. The paint was fairly fresh looking on it and it looked in fairly good condition. So hopefully Randy didn't damage it too much on them. I have 2 interesting facts to share with you guys that I came across when I was doing research to make this video. In 1998, when 2 brush fires threatened to become one huge brush fire in Flagler County, a mandatory evacuation was ordered for the entire county. This was the first and so far only time a whole county was evacuated in Florida for a wildfire. I thought that was pretty crazy that they evacuated a whole county, so it must have been a pretty bad situation at the time. And it looked like the population of Flagler County at the time was about 46,000, so that's an awful lot of people to move. And the second fact was actually about the detention centre where that guy's being held. It's called the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, and it's dedicated to Sheriff Perry Hall, who was the first law enforcement officer to be killed in the line of duty in Flagler County. He was killed while making an arrest on August the 21st, 1927. Sheriff Hall, who was just 41 years old, had entered a shack alone attempting to raid an illegal liquor operation in a rural settlement known as Roy. During the raid, Sheriff Hall ordered the suspect to raise his hands, but instead the suspect struck Sheriff Hall on the head with a liquor bottle. Sheriff Hall died of his injuries less than a day later, never regaining consciousness, and the suspect, Jim Smith, then escaped back to his former residence in Brookfield, Georgia. A massive posse of over 200 men was assembled to search the wooded areas in 3 counties for the assailant. Smith, who had changed his name to avoid capture, vowed not to be taken alive. Nevertheless, just 21 days after the murder of Sheriff Hall, a group of armed men stormed a house in Tift County, Georgia, where he had been staying. Smith fled through the back door and was shot and killed during the effort to apprehend him. But Sheriff Hall wasn't to be the only Flagler County law enforcement officer to be killed. During the search, Flagler County Deputy Sheriff George Walter Durrance was killed in the search by an unrelated individual mistaken for the suspect. Following up on a lead in Greenland, Duval County, Florida, Deputy Durrance saw a man fitting the suspect's description and ordered him to raise his hands. Instead, the man, who was a night watchman for the post office, thought he was being robbed and raised a shotgun and fired at Deputy Durrance, who also fired his gun. Both men were hit, but only Deputy Durrance died from his wounds. This resulted in the loss of 2 Flagler County law enforcement officers in just 3 days. The man who fatally wounded Deputy Durrance was killed weeks later while he was awaiting his trial. So a really bizarre series of events that unfolded there. It really was a different time for policing back then, with Sheriff Perry going in to raid that place all on his own. And the events that followed after that were just crazy. Sometimes when I come across places like that, I like to look into why they're named after people. Often you find they have a very interesting backstory. Like the time we came across that armory defrauders were outside in California called the Daniel Unger Memorial Armory. Daniel is a true hero and sacrificed his life to save the lives of a group of Iraqi contractors who were doing work at the base he was at when they came under attack. Daniel showed true bravery and courage, and may he rest in peace. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you found a little bit of information at the end interesting as well. As always, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop us a like, and do let me know down below in the comments what you thought of this video. I recently posted a new video about some degeneracy at sea, and to be quite honest, I was a little bit apprehensive at first about posting it. As it's something a bit different than what I usually post on the channel, there is a little bit of anxiety to see how people will receive it. But I'm happy to report that the people that have seen it already seem to have enjoyed it, with some people commenting that they do like the change from the usual content and they like something a little bit different. Coming up soon here on the channel, we're going to be having our Wolf Q&A live stream, and I'll be posting details of that very soon on the community tab. We'll also have the first episode in a new series here on the channel called The Sovereign Files. I'll also have a brand new members only video for my channel members. And just a quick note for the channel members, don't forget to regularly check the membership tab on the channel homepage. There you'll find all the content relative to your membership, including members only videos. And you can also find our members only videos in the members only playlist. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. And if you are considering becoming a channel member, you can find out more information by hitting the join button just below this video, or checking out the link down below in the description. There's a couple of other ways you can help support the channel here, and if you'd like to find out more about that, check out the links down below in the description. Another good way to help support the channel grow is to make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on a new video here on Degenerate Watch. And once again, a quick reminder to everybody, we're having a 20% off sale over at the Degenerate Watch merch store, so if you're planning on getting your hands on some Degenerate Watch merch, now is a great time to do it. Don't forget to use code WOLF22 at checkout for 20% off. Before I wrap things up here, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's watching this with me on the premiere. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, a massive shout out to all my channel members out there. Your continued support and encouragement is very much thoroughly appreciated. Well guys, that just about wraps things up for this video. I thank you once again for joining me, and I hope to see you again very soon. As always, I'll be back in the next couple of days with another video here on Degenerate Watch. I hope you'll join me then. But until then, if you haven't checked out some of our other videos, why not check out some of the videos on screen now. Until next time guys, have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Take care. Peace.
Yeah, yeah.